fanfic, seriously. What are you, Lin? Lin Lee? Xenoblade Chronicles X2 for the Switch. When? When, Monolith Soft? Speaking of, I wish the best Xenoblade X game would be if they incorporated the blade mechanic from uh, Chronicles 2, from Xenoblade 2. They incorporated that with just generic weapons. They don't have to have all the waifu blade humans walking around like assisting and being their weapon. Like I wish they would um like incorporate, like there's this blade switching mechanic where you switch blades and then you have their own set of moves and stuff. I wish they did that to the weapons, to just generic weapons. You just switch generic weapons on like and do like a chain of moves and stuff. I wish they did that. Like like um pretty much everything, all the gameplay from X pretty much intact, but you know, polished up and quality of life and everything. They have all that, but use the combat. Only that part of the combat. I like their mobile, like being mobile and shooting, but at the same time, you know, that makes me in retrospect thinking like I was turned off by the fact that you can't move around and attack at the same time, but because you can't do that, you can't attack and move at the same time. Like it just felt nicer, like it looked nice to move around and attack, like you're like moving around and shooting and stuff. That looked really cool and all. But when you think about it, if you played Xenoblade Chronicles 2, um, there's this thing you can exploit. I don't think if it's an exploit. I think it was intentional, where you can actually cancel the recovery frames of your attack if you inch forward. So there would be times where, like, you know, Rex would slash, then you inch forward, and he goes immediately back to the slash the moment you just let go of the control stick. So he would like, he would just keep doing that. Like, it's perfect for building up the, like, for reducing the cooldown like really fast. So if they make it so you can move and attack at the same time like in X, then you wouldn't be able to do that anymore. Like do the but like it would look weird with guns though, even though they had guns in Chronicles 2. I keep going back and forth with the naming, but like maybe they could just incorporate that to melee weapons instead, like inch forward and do the canceling, like you can't move around and attack with swords, like with melee attacks, but like with melee weapons, but you can do that with, you know, long range weapons. So there's a little bit of more like preference, like more strategizing, like do you prefer moving around, being harder to hit, uh, but you won't be able to do those advanced techniques of reducing your cooldowns quicker, or you want to be up in their face and like, you know, like that would be cool. I wish they would do that. That would be cool. So back to what I was saying with the blade switching mechanic that was in Xenoblade Chronicles 2. Like, once you are able to get the ability to cancel into other arts, you would have these long chains of, like, you can equip up to 3 blades, and each blade has like 4 special moves, if I remember correctly. So that means you would do all 4 special moves of one blade, and then you can switch to the next blade and do all 4 specials, and switch to the next blade and do all 4. So you do 12 arts in a row, and it even count like there's this mechanic where if you cancel the arts um, at the right time, you get like a bonus, and it even the bonus even counts when you switch the blade. So if you switch the blade at the right time, you get a bonus for that too. So you get this constant bonus, like 12 plus the 3 plus the 2 switching of the blades. So you got 14 bonuses going in a row. It felt so good to pull that off, because um, the bonuses, you get to do like this team up attack with your blade, like a blade combo, and like you pass your your weapon to back to the blade, and the blade your blade is like the personification of the weapon. So it's like a human being is with you being the weapon, so you pass it back to them, so they're like using it. So you're like doing this big old chain, and then you end it with that. You could even bonus into it, like cancel into it, like in the perfect timing. It was like, it just felt so good to play once you get to that point where you can cancel the attacks into one another. You couldn't do that in the beginning. You have to like get a certain amount of this experience points to unlock that ability. So once you get that, it starts feeling so good. It starts out slow because you can't do that before, and you have so little moves. And people don't know about the advanced technique of like they would just stand there and wait for the cooldown of their arts be to be ready. But the game is a lot more active than you think if you're just like, yeah, no, I'm not going to do it this time, because if you let the combo finish, it actually does more damage, and you actually get more of a bonus from canceling that combo finisher with an art. So there's a lot of things to think about in that game, and I wish they put that feeling, that same feeling of canceling like so many arts in a row with different weapons. So you can go back to only 2 weapons in Xenoblade Chronicles X. I don't know why I keep gesturing. It's like an Asian thing where you like gesture with your hands to convey a message, but like, anyways, like, so you can only have 2 weapons. You can only have a long range weapon and a melee weapon. So you could just do um, just have 2, but it would be better if you have 3. Like you can have, and they won't limit you to, oh, you must have a you must have a melee and a range weapon. Not, you can't have 2 ranges, 2 melee. You can't do that. I wish they removed that limitation. Like there's no point. Like there's no online PvP or anything. There's no like broken balance or anything. It's all PvE. So just just remove that limit. Just let them go nuts. Let them have 3, like give them 3 weapons. So, and let them have whatever type of weapon they want. 3 range weapons, 2 melee, 1 range, whatever they want. So you can have this crazy thing where like you're doing your sniper rifles 4 arts, 4 arts, 4 arts, where you're like doing that long range move, and then you do like a high critical move, and then one where you actually have to aim and cancel it, cancel. Once you do all 4 and they're all in their cooldown, you cancel into weapon switching to a melee now, and you're like doing this and that, doing all 4 of the arts, and then you cancel into switching to your freaking hammer or whatever they have. They like do that. That would be wild, and I would love that. So that would be amazing. They made like Xenoblade Chronicles X 2 like that. Just like X was fun. It was super fun. Like to me, in my opinion, it was super fun. It was like a pseudo MMORPG, but like, is that a bad thing? That it feels like an MMO, but it's not an MMO because you don't actually play with other people. Whatever. I don't play with other people. Not a problem. I don't play MMOs to interact with people. No, at this point, no one really does. No one does that. I'm basically talking to myself right now. I don't know how many viewers I have. So it's like, I don't care about interacting with other people. So the MMO thing, like, it's an MMO, but not really, because it's not online. Whatever. But like, dude, that would be the best. That would be the best that they could ever do to the series. Like, of course, they keep the skells, the giant robots, and like incorporate it somewhat like that too. I don't know how people complain like, the robots made everything trivial now. Duh, because they're giant freaking robots. Hello. Phew, not a giant candy. But anyways, you already got my point. That's what I want. That would be the best, the definitive Xenoblade game ever in the entire Xenoblade franchise.